When Mom realizes what her daughter and her brother were up to in the bathroom, she screams uncontrollably. Timmy and Susie were siblings, and they shared a special affinity. At an age when many would be bickering and in constant confrontations, they were unconditionally and all friends. Susie was 7 years old and Timmy was 5, and there was no one in the world that they loved more than each other. The fact that Susie's parents had lived so carefree meant that the girl had learned many lessons about living alone or at school, where she had a teacher who was always willing to answer all of her questions and explain everything she was learning, contributed to the fact that Susie served as a mentor for her younger brother. She passed it on to her younger brother as well, and the two of them managed to get by in life on their own strength. However, they remained young people in need of their parents. Beyond the two mouths they had to feed, they needed them to see them. They worked extremely hard every day to make them understand that they also struggled, felt, and could comprehend life so they could take the time to explain and mentor them. They wanted to be taken seriously. But it just didn't seem to happen that way. Timmy getting sick caused everything to worsen. Every day he complained that his stomach hurt, but because it also happened to be the first day of school for the boy, his parents assumed that he was just trying to avoid going to school. As a result, they were even more incensed when the boy said that his stomach did not stop hurting and that after eating he occasionally felt like vomiting. Timmy had been ill for 6 months, but he was still not receiving the care he required. When he started throwing up at night, it grew worse. Susie reported that Timmy was vomiting up his lunch to her parents, but they assumed he had indigestion and would be well the next day. Since they were unlikely to believe Timmy was ill and had injured their dignity, the two siblings decided not to bother them any longer. Since only she cared for him and never left Timmy alone, Susie reasoned that she was the only one who could take care of him. Being with him as he vomited and holding him while he did so developed into a habit that occurred more frequently until it eventually became a regular ritual. The boy's schoolmates noted that he was becoming thinner, paler, and weaker all the time. They simply excused themselves by stating that Timmy was going through a stage of poor appetite, which, in their opinion, was very normal at his age because they had experienced it too, and that soon he would start eating normally and that his appearance would improve, but that it was not an illness when they asked Timmy's parents if the boy was ill. In the meantime, Timmy was having increasing difficulty swallowing his food, and his strength and focus were gradually waning at school. He struggled with concentration and didn't have the same amount of enthusiasm as the other kids when they went outside to play. Even though several people witnessed him dozing off in the sun, he liked to sit there. Only Susie could tell that he was ill, and she could only pray that someone would soon pay care to him. The mother entered the toilet one evening and discovered a spectacle she had never expected to see. When the youngster finished and glanced at Susie, she realized she had been blind for a very long time and screamed in shock. The boy's bloody vomit appeared to be tearing the young boy from the inside. Susie was there helping her little brother keep himself up while he was vomiting. Her son was ill. She wasn't sure what it was, but it had been going on for a time, and it was clear the kids had told them and they had ignored them.